Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I've got the T5 behind me. I'm gonna head up the barn now because I've got some problems. Managed somehow to find myself in the position without a working car. That's right, all of my cars are broken. So let's jump in the van and head up the barn and find out what's going on. So the Jetta Coupe, yep, the window regulator broke and I can't drive it because the window just drops down. Let's see what else is broken. I've got this Jetta Coupe. Now this has got no MOT currently and it's got a split CV boot, so I'm gonna have to change that. So it's not legal, can't drive it. We've got the £80 Seat Ibiza. Now this should be on the road, but it's got no MOT. And for that MOT, I just need to put a clip on a CV boot. That's it. So my own fault, I'm not driving this, but there you go. What else is broken? The Winter Beta Audi TT, it's got a noisy gearbox and it vibrates like no one's business. So that's off the road currently, ready to be put back together for the winter. But that means I can't drive this. Then we've got the track car. It's a track car. It's got no MOT. Can't drive it on the road. Now you might be asking, Tim, why aren't you driving the A3? Well, that's because I sold it. I got a really good price for it. And I took this Audi TT in part exchange. It's a 225 brake horsepower with a nice set of wheels, coilovers, and some little subtle mods. It used to be my car, but guess what? The guy bought it off has got a load of outstanding maintenance on it and it's got no MOT, so I can't drive this one either. And then we've got this Mark II. It's so new, I haven't even told my missus about it. It's got an MOT, so I could drive it if it hadn't broken down on the way home. So I've got a Mark II Jetta with an R32 engine in it that is going nowhere. So with that many dead cars, I'm gonna need a miracle or just a good solid day up the barn to actually get some work done. But we're gonna go for a miracle. So as you can see, I'm sat here in the T5. I've driven from the barn down to Halfords to pick up a little can of EGR Cleaner. Now looking online, this could be the miracle cure that I'm looking for, or it could have been an absolute load of rubbish. Now, I actually did spray some in my inlet a couple of days ago. So let's have a look at past him and see what he made of it. Right, so with that back in, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have the a set of grips to take that clip off the hose. Would have been a lot easier. Instead I had to try and like get screwdrivers down the back of the MAF to try and get those screws back in. So with a bit of help from the missus, it's in. This thing smells a bit funky because I've just sprayed it full of chemicals. Let's take it for a run and see if it actually burns off all this nastiness which is causing this thing to run like a dog. So wish me luck. No, we're in limp mode yet again. Right, so I've just pulled over. Let's turn it off. Turn it on again, and hopefully we'll be okay. And I'm back home. Well, did it work? I don't know. There were times that it felt like it was starting to build boost and I was getting a little bit excited and then bang, nothing. It go into limp mode and all of a sudden I'm questioning all my life choices. So did it work? Maybe. As I say, it was starting to build boost. I thought it was getting a little bit better. So do you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this for tonight. And I'm going to come back in the morning with a fresh can and see if a second application does anything whatsoever. So I guess one way or another, I'll know, does Win's EGR Cleaner clean out the sticky veins and the filth in your turbo that could potentially cause this overboost issue? So I'm going to go in and get something to eat and I will see you in the morning. Now I came out the next morning, I took it for a run to get it up to temperature, and do you know what? It stopped going into limp mode. It stopped getting that overboost issue. I drove it for probably an hour and only right at the very end of my journey did it actually have this overboost problem again? And I turned it off, turned it on again, and it was great for the hour home. So there's definitely something in this, and I think that this could possibly be the fix that I'm looking for. So what is this miracle cure, I hear you say? Well, look, wait no more. It is this, just a simple can of EGR Cleaner that you can get on Amazon. You can buy it from Halfords. You can get it from Euro Car Parts. It's readily available. And the difference in how this van drives is night and day. Now, it's not perfect, and I'm hoping the second application will make all of the difference. And I could have saved myself a massive repair bill by doing just something as simple as spraying a can of this or 2 cans of this into the air intake. So I'm going to pop the bonnet, spray this in, and let's see how we get on. And like an idiot, I've just managed to drop my grips down the side of a red hot engine. So let's try and get these out without burning myself. Got him. Now, the key to doing this is to spray short, sharp sprays in. It will sound really nasty, but it'll be okay. Now, with that can sprayed into the inlet, I've put it all back together. I'm just going to take it for a run and we'll see, has it made a difference, or is it one of those like before, I'm just going to have to leave it overnight and maybe it'll get better the more I drive it. I'd like to say a big thank you to all of the recent new subscribers to the channel. The last video on this van just went crazy. There's so many views and so many new subscribers. So thank you to everyone who's new to the channel. And I'd also like to say thank you to everyone who left comments on the video. Do you know what? I learned a huge amount. The T5 community is just a really bunch of good guys and girls and some really knowledgeable people. So I'm kind of new to these. I usually mess around with old Volkswagens, Mark II Golfs, Jettas, that sort of thing. Now, as I drive up to the barn in this van, it's a beautiful sunny day and I just can't help thinking how much better this van is driving. Now, the key to this stuff is to get the van up to temperature, get the engine nice and hot, and then spray it in, pop it back together, and then again take it for another really long drive. I'm going to go to the barn and back. It's probably, I don't know, maybe a sort of half hour, 40-minute round trip, which I think will be long enough. And as I drive it, it's got me thinking, so far, so good. The throttle response is good, the boost is building. As I let off the throttle and put my foot down again, it doesn't stall out the turbo. We're not getting this overboost issue. So yeah, so far so good. And to be honest, that's the only thing I really have to report at the moment. But this takes maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour's worth of driving to really kind of get in there, work its way through. And as before, I noticed the real difference the next day. So am I going to get an answer today? I don't know. I guess if it doesn't go into limp mode on the way to the barn and back, I guess I've had a bit of a win. But it's one of those, I'm just going to have to keep driving it to find out. Now, in looking through the comments, you guys have taught me so much. So it turns out that this does not, in fact, have a DSG gearbox. No, the earlier sort of T5s up to 2009 are actually just automatics, which is great news. Because if you've ever seen the inner workings of a DSG gearbox, just to change the clutches, I mean, there's special tools, there's teeth. I'm so glad that I'm not going to have to do that. Now, that could mean that I've got a problem with my torque converter. It's a traditional automatic gearbox. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's kind of the route I'm going with. So it could be the torque converter is on its way out. I mean, it's done 255,000 miles. It's not unheard of to think that actually that may have failed. Or it could just be that this van has just not been maintained to a particularly high standard. So it could be it just runs really poorly. And when you've got your foot on the brake and it just stalls. It's just, you know, the engine can't maintain its speed. It could be a whole host of reasons. So I think maintenance is definitely top of my priorities on this van. So we've sprayed the EGR cleaner into the turbo or into the inlet, and hopefully that's cleared the turbo. So next up tomorrow, we're going to do a service. We've got oil filters, air filters, 7.5, 8 litres of oil, along with a fuel filter, because again, when was the last time this fuel filter was changed? I'm also going to put some fuel treatment in as well to maybe help clear out those injectors to see if that makes any difference. So let's get this van serviced and sort of in a good, I say in a good state, as good a state as you can get for a £2,000 van. That makes this a really cheap T5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep a running total of what I've spent on this van. So each video we can see, was this a good idea? Was this a massive financial mistake? Are old T5s unreliable and expensive? Or have I got myself a bit of a cheap old bus? So guys, with that in mind, thanks for watching. I've left a link down below for the playlist to this van. So again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, press the bell notification to be notified next time I upload a video on this, and I'll see you on the next one.